Welcome to day 2 of Planksgiving. So again, kind of similar to what we did with day 1. We're going to start with our 2 warm-up exercises and then 2 main exercises. And then one more time this week, similar pattern. Then for next week, we will make this a little stronger. But hopefully you guys are getting to understand what we're doing here, getting some more body awareness going on and really starting to feel what's your triangle that we're trying to maintain. All right, so let's start with our seated rotation plus extension. Grab a different chair here, hold on. All right, so seated with extension. Check and just see, how is your posture today compared to yesterday or day 1? Okay, so it might be different, it might feel different. All right, so keep the spine straight, hinge forward, down onto your elbows. It's kind of like a plank, isn't it? All right, so now you're going to, right hand goes across the chest, push the breastbone forward, rotate the shoulders. So now push out a little bit with that left elbow, and then slowly after you twist it, reach that right arm up, bring it down, bring it down. So push forward, push out with that left elbow, rotate and reach. I got a couple more here. Push, rotate and reach. Push, rotate and reach. Last one here. All right, and then let's switch sides. So left hand across the chest, right elbow on that knee. You're going to push the breastbone forward, push the right elbow out, rotate, reach. So think again about creating length. Pull back a little bit even with that elbow first and then go out. Does that help you with that awareness of what's going on? Push and reach. One more time. Again, which head position works for you? We talked about those last time. And release. All right, so again, feel free to pause, do more of those if you'd like. So this time, day 1, we did this face down to the ground. Today, we're doing this standing or seated. So you're going to start your hands on your back, shoulder blades back. And again, I want you to think about the core control. So we don't have the biofeedback of being on the ground. So abs are drawn in down here, and then you drop your ribs down at the front. So hands are back, elbows back, shoulders back. So open up that chest. How's the neck feel? And then slowly, keeping those shoulder blades together, slowly reach the arms out. You're reaching up. And then slowly the hands come back around. Palms go back to the top of your glutes, that low back. Push those, pull those elbows together. A couple more times. Release, sweep. And again, you're trying to keep those arms behind you. You're opening up the chest. You're opening up the shoulder. You're activating that upper back. All right, how's your low back feeling? Your torso should be staying still. So again, we've got that rectangle. All right, let's quickly do our little lateral here. So if last time was easy, step those feet farther away. You already start with more weight on your shoulder, elbows pointing about a 45-degree angle down. And again, if you need to, lift up to the fingers. You can put a tennis ball under your hand, get out of that wrist. All right, check in with the core stability. All right, so go start straight if you need to, and then lean in. So you're keeping this rectangle. All right, just bend and straighten. Are your rib to hip connections staying equal on both sides? Okay, so it's easy to put your hand there and feel, is there movement as I go? Okay, learning to feel your body, very important. We got a couple more. All the way it's going onto that inside foot. All right, then let's switch. Again, hand in line with both shoulders, elbows about a 45-degree angle down, torso square, get that set up, abs in, ribs down, and then bend your elbow and straighten. Bend and straighten. Again, this doesn't necessarily have to be hard. This is about body awareness. And again, one of our warm-ups. We got 2 more here. And then release. All right, and then we're going to come onto the ground, sorry. If you happen to have your band handy, You're welcome to use it to get deeper into those hips. So go ahead and bring the band around the knees. If you don't have a band, maybe you have a Pilates ring, it would also work. It's something that has a little bit of tension, a little resistance. And we're actually going to start down on the ground. All right, so feet are hip distance apart. I want you to pull those knees with just a little bit, maybe walk the feet a little bit wider so you feel like you have to push out from the deep hips to get those knees apart, and you can maintain this. All right, so make sure this is comfortable, and then notice your low back. So abs are in, you got a little space beneath the low back, and then drop your ribs down. Those are your obliques kicking in. All right, so from here, we're going to do a bridge. And what is a bridge about? It's about maintaining the position of this triangle. All right, so rib to hip distance stays the same. So you got that gentle push out. I want you to exhale, press your feet into the ground, and then slowly hinge up. So you're using the glutes to lift, and your anchor point is your shoulder. So notice the spine stayed still, and then slowly lower yourself back down. Don't worry, we're going to make this harder. Again, you can choose to stay at this option right here. We'll give you extra options. We will build into stronger stuff. So from here, if you want to, as you go up, lift a foot, keep the hips level as you go, and then lift the other foot. Again, which direction is harder for you? That should be your exhale. Maintain that position. Again, totally optional to lift a leg. Make sure the stable leg, the one that stays on the ground, stays in the exact same spot you had it before. That was not a good lower. So low back should be staying still. So maybe you have one hand on top, one hand on bottom. You should have space for your hand on the bottom. And notice the hips. Are they staying still? Or are they moving? Again, where do you need those hands for biofeedback? Again, if you don't have the band around the knees, that is fine. All right, so take a pause down, check in for a moment. Again, work with that stability. So get this abdominal engagement again. Get the lower abs to draw in. That's up and in. And then get those obliques to drop down. So the ribs are down. All right, fingers on your hips, hip pointers, and the bottom of the ribs. And I want you to extend that right leg out. All right, so one leg plank here. So slowly lift up, pressing out with that right leg. Hold. Take a breath. So I want you to notice your spine. If you feel like you're slouching some, I want you to lower your hips down. So again, keep the triangle square. Adjust from the hips if you need to. Any discomfort in the neck, lower the hips down some. It's about getting the hips off the ground, doesn't matter how much, and then challenging the ability to hold this. Okay, using that band, again, getting you into the deep glutes, and then slowly release. Bring it down. Reset. Got it. We're going to the other side. So left leg goes out, and again, push out a little bit with the band. Core connects. We all have one side that shifts, right? More than the other one. So notice that. So think about, so for me on this side, when I lift that left leg, the right hip wants to come up. So I'm using my obliques to really press that right hip down. All right. So the knees are staying side by side. Lift up. And again, where do you need to be on this side to maintain your rectangle? So glutes are firing. Long spine, core is connected, shoulder blades back. And I want you to really kind of think now, activate those arms, press down a little bit. If you don't need them up here for body mechanics, body awareness, press them down a little bit. Notice how that helps. Breathing, long breaths in, long breaths out. If you find you're holding your breath, drop yourself down a little bit. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release all the way down. Check in. How do you feel? And again, if you want to do that again, pause this video and come back and go through it again. All right. So last plank for the day. That is an unusual, more unusual position. So no toys required. So you're going to have your hands either fingers pointed in towards you or fingers pointed sideways. Okay, if we go this way, well, look what happens at the shoulders. We tend to round more. Sorry, my knee is not liking that position. So here, fingers point out, shoulder blades can come back and in. You open up the chest, right? All right, so feet can be flat, can be on your heels, what works for you. So this one does require shoulder flexibility, which is why I'm adding it in now. So notice the knees are bent. I want you to get back to your rectangle, engage and connect that core. Keep the shoulder blades back, bend the elbows if you need to, but elbows should be reaching behind you. Okay. They may not be fully pointed back if your hands are pointing sideways. If your hands are pointing towards you, they should be pointing fully back. They can be pointing in a little bit if they're sideways. All right. And again, you can be down on your elbows. Exhale, core engages, lift your hips. Slow, 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 release yourself back down. So if you need to, be up on a chair with your elbows, even up on the couch, so that you can get a little bit of range of motion on this lift. So again, how high do you lift? How high can you maintain control of your square? Exhale, lift, hold, and then slow on the way down. So again, it may not be, keep going, the strongest lift, but it's a little unusual, and most of us are really tight through here. So we are opening up this part today and getting the backside to do some work. Okay, again, option, you can walk those legs out longer if you want to, but you don't get quite the lift you do from the all fours position. All right, as always, go back through this, do it another time or two if you'd like, pick different options, review the intro video, and I will see you guys soon for day 3.